Hello everybody! Today is another day reading Lord of the Mysteries. Okay, so we are in chapter 4. Maybe I should try to do a quick resume. Well, resume or summary? Yeah, summary about what happened in the other 3 chapters, because I didn't read that good in that chapter. So, quick summary. What happened? Chapter 1. Tumingui appears in another world as Clay Moretti. Is his name? Yeah, Clay Moretti. You have this here. By the way, I have a Google Docs. And I note things that I think that are important in the history. So this is the thing that I got from chapter 1, 2, and 3. From chapter 1, 2, and 3. So we know Tumingri that is in another world in the body of Klein. Klein tried to kill himself, or maybe or they say that he tried to do it. So yeah. What else? Klein had 2 brothers, one sister, and a little sister, and an older brother. We don't know some things about this world. There are important things that a question that I had. Let's read them. What did the former Klein mean when he wrote, "Everyone will die, including me"? Okay, this is important because Klein write in a book that everyone will die, including me, and he shoot himself in the head. I don't know why. It's strange, really strange, because his family really cares about him, and his brother do a lot of things for him to so he can study. So it's strange. How can he got a revolver if he doesn't have money? That's another good question. Was he a suicide or a fake suicide? Where did Su-Mingui find the book of divination? Okay, in the previous book, Su-Mingui talks about how he found a book of divination in his world, and he tried to do a luck enchantment to get better luck, because the past day he had bad luck. And this is a strange thing that I had, that I think that maybe Su-Mingui returned to the past, and he didn't know about that he returned to the past. Okay, in my head, I know that in this one novel there are like really good powers and crazy things. I don't know what are these things that are crazy, but people say that, oh, Lord of the Mystery, power system is crazy. So maybe in the future Klein got really cool powers, and in the end of the story he returned back to where he started. Something like that. I don't know. Maybe yes, maybe no. We don't know. So yeah, where did Su-Mingui get that book, that strange book? Well, is there more than 3 gods? We know that there are 7. Lord of Storm, Evernight Goddess, at the there are 7 gods in the same chapter. I didn't write about the gods. It's strange that. No, maybe it's in. I have a part that we talk about the world. So maybe here. Yes. The Splion Mons. Okay, there is the 7 gods. The eternal blazing sun, the Lord of Storms, the God of knowledge and wisdom, the Evernight Goddess, Mother Earth, the God of War, Chang, and the God of Steam and Machinery. Okay, I think this is the important things. Now in this the last chapter, Su-Mingui tried to do again the same the luck enchantment. So because he thinks that after he did the luck enchantment in his world, he transmigrate to this world. So he's trying to get back to his world. That's it of important things. And we know that he healed himself after he returned to the claim body, because he had like a injury in his head, and he healed himself. So okay. No important thing, I don't think so. They are in a Steam world with steampunk things, and that's it. We can start reading the chapter 4. Okay. Returning to his chair again, he heard the faraway cathedral bells chime again. It continued 7 times before Thumbingri slowly stood up. He went up front to the cupboard and took out his clothes. A black vest with a matching sweat trouser that clung tightly to his legs, a half-top hat, and his faint scholarly air made Thumbingri feel like he was watching an English drama set in the Victorian era. He suddenly muttered softly as he shook his head with a wry smile. "I'm not going for an interview. All I'm doing is buying some ingredients to prepare for my luck enchantment ritual." Klein was so concerned about his impending interview that it became instinct. When he was not focused enough, he habitually wore his only decent set of clothing. After taking a breath, Thumbingri took off his suit and vest. Switching to a brownish yellow coat, he also changed to a felt hat with a rounded edge of the same color. With his outfit done, he walked to the side of the bed and lifted a square cushion. He reached his hand into an inconspicuous hole beneath a rummaged around before finding an intermediate layer. Okay, I don't know what this means. Give me a moment. Well, by the way, I didn't say that, but I'm learning English, so I'm doing this to improve my speaking and my pronunciation, so that's it. Hole beneath and rummage around before finding an intermediate layer. When he retracted his right hand, there was a roll of notes in his palm. There were about 8 notes with faded dark green colors. These were all the savings Benson had at the moment. It even included the living expenses for the next 3 days. 2 of them were 5 solid notes, and the remaining were 1 solid notes. In the Loen Kingdom's currency system, solid was ranked second. It originated from ancient silver coins. 1 solid was equivalent to 12 copper pence. They had denomination of 1 and 5 solid. Okay, should I write about this here in Word? I don't care. I'm not going to do this kind of thing of, if they say that costs something, I don't care what he is going to spend. I don't think it's important for me to know the currency of Loen Kingdom. It's good to know that there is a currency and a system that the author think about this, but I'm sorry, I don't care. I don't want to do math in this. At the top of the currency system was the gold pound. They were also paper-based, but were guaranteed by gold and pegged daily. A gold pound was equivalent to 20 solid. They had denomination of 1, 5, and 10 gold pounds. Well, or maybe I'm going to write. Wait a moment. Okay, Thumbingri spread a note and caught a whiff of the faint unique ink. This was the smell of money. Perhaps a result of Clay's memory fragment or his constant desire for money. Thumbingri felt like he had started falling in love with this note. Look there, the designs are so beautiful. It makes the stern and old-fashioned George III and his 2 mustaches appeared especially adorable. Look, the watermark that can be seen when the nose is placed against sunlight is so alluring. The exquisite design for the anti-counterfeit label makes it completely different from those fake fancy
Schlocks.
Zooming Green admired it for nearly a minute before pulling out 2 of one solid notes. He then rolled up the remaining notes and stuffed them back into the cushion concealed layer. After arranging and fluttering the cloth around the hole, Thumbing Green folded the 2 notes he had taken out neatly and placed them into the left pocket of his brownish yellow jacket. He separated the note from the few pence he had in his trouser pocket. With all of this done, he placed a key into his right pocket and brought a dark brownish paper bag along with him and quickly walked toward the door. His shuffling footsteps slowed down for a brief space until it eventually stopped. Thumbing Green stood by the door and was unsure when he had already begun to frown. Clay's suicide was fraught with peculiarities. Would he encounter any accident if he were to leave just like that? After some deep thought, Thumbing Green returned to his desk and pulled open the drawer. He then took out the simmering brass revolver. This was the only defensive weapon he could think of, and it was the only weapon with sufficient power. Although he had never practiced in shooting, just pulling such a revolver out would definitely down anyone. He carried the revolver cold metal before stuffing his revolver into the pocket where his notes were. He clasped the money in his palm and his finger pressed out onto the gun handle. It was perfectly concealed. Feeling insecure, he who knew a little of everything suddenly had a worry. Will I end up misfiring? Being in the loot with such a thought, Thumbing Green quickly thought of a solution. He drew the revolver and released the cylinder. He then aligned the empty chamber, which was a result of the suicide along the gun's hammer before closing it. This way, even if there was a misfire, he would discard an empty round. And so, stuffing his revolver back into his pocket, Thumbing Green kept his left hand in there. He pressed down on his hat with his right hand and pulled open the door before leaving. The corridor during the day remained dim as limited sunlight shone in from the window situated at the end of the corridor. Thumbing Green quickly went down the stairs and left the apartment before taking in the brilliance and warmth of the sun. Although it was almost July, it was still considered the middle of summer. However, Tingen was situated north of the Loen Kingdom, so it had unique climate characteristics. The highest annual temperature was not even 13 Celsius?
30 degrees Celsius.
30 degrees Celsius on Earth, with even cooler mornings. 30 degrees Celsius on Earth, with even cooler mornings. With even cooler mornings. However, the sea was awash with filthy water and stewing junk. From Clay's memory, this was not a rare sight in low-income communities, and there were sewers. After all, there were just too many people, and people need to survive. Come and try our delicious roasted fish. Hot and fresh oyster soup. Drink a bowl in the morning and feel invigorated all day. Fresh fish from the port for just 5 pence a piece. Muffin and eel soup make the perfect combination. Conch. What the fuck is conch?
Conch.
Okay. Conch. Vegetable freshly plucked from the farm outside the city. Cheap and fresh. The mobile hawkers who sold vegetables, fruits, and hot food saw along the street as they beckoned the rushing pedestrian. Some of them would stop and carefully compare before purchasing. Others would immediately wave their hands as they had yet to find work for the day. Thumbing Green took in a whiff of the air that mixed both noxious and fragrant aromas. As he clenched the revolver tightly in his left hand, he held the nose tight. He pressed down on his hat with his right hand while passing through the busy street, slouching a little. There was bound to be thieves in populated areas. Furthermore, the state had no lack of poor citizens who were working part-time after losing their previous jobs. There were also starving children that were exploited by adults to do their bidding. He proceeded forward until he reached a point where the crowdedness around him restored to normal. He straightened his back and raised his head to look down the street. There was a background accordionist busking. The melody was sometimes pleasant, sometimes fervent. Beside him were several children in rough clothes with shallow complexion due to malnutrition. They listened to the music and moved to the beat, dancing self-made choreographies. Their faces were filled with joy as though they were a prince or an angel. Okay, as though they were a prince or an angel. A deadpan woman passed by. Her skirt was dirty and her skin was dull. Her gaze appeared dull and sluggish. Only when she looked at the bunch of children did a faint glow flash. It was as though she had seen herself from 3 decades ago. Su Minghui overtook her and turned into another street before stopping at a smiling bakery. Is this woman important? I don't know. Maybe I'm a little bit skeptical. I overlook things, but I read Miserable is a book for Brandon Sanderson, and this is a trilogy, okay? And in the first book there are things that connected with the third book. So I don't know if a deadpan woman passed by, her skin was dirty and her skin was dull. Maybe it's important for the future, I don't know. I'm not going to write about this because they don't, I don't know, if they say something like the color of the hair,
Hair.
the color of the hair, or the color of the eyes, something like that, I will write about this, obviously, but I don't know. Things. Okay, the owner of the bakery was a 70-plus-year-old granny named Wendy Smiring. Her hair was completely grayish white and she always wore a genial smile. From the beginning of Clay's memories, she had been heard selling bread and pastries. Okay, Wendy Smiring. I should talk about this woman. I don't think it's going to be important, this old woman. 70 plus year old. I'm not going to write about this woman. Oh, the dinner biscuit and lemon cake she bakes are very delicious. Su Minghui gulped a mouthful of saliva and smiled. Miss Smiling, 8 pounds of rye bread. Oh dear Klein, where Benson? Is he not back? Wendy asked smilingly. In a few more days, answered Su Minghui vaguely. Vaguely. In a few more days, answered Su Minghui vaguely. As Wendy took the rye bread, she sighed. He sure is a hard-working lad. He will have a good wife. Upon saying this, the corner of her lips curled up as she said playfully, all is good now. You have already graduated. You are a history graduate of our University. Oh, you will soon be able to earn money. You should not be staying in the apartment you are currently living in. At the very least, you should have a bedroom you can call your own. Miss Smiling, you seem to be a young and energetic woman today. All Su Minghui could do was respond with a dry smile. If Klein were to successfully pass his interview and become a lecturer of the university, it was true that his family would immediately be pushed up to higher socioeconomic status. In his memory fragment, he had once fantasized about renting a bungalow in the suburbs. There would be 5 or 6 rooms, 2 bathrooms, a huge balcony upstairs, 2 rooms, a dining room, a living room, a kitchen, a bathroom, an underground storage room on the first floor. This was not a wishful dream. Even a lecturer of probation of Teen University would have a weekly salary of £2 After the probationary period, the salary would be raised to £3 and 10 solid. One had to know that despite working for so many years, Clay's brother Benson only had a weekly salary of £1 and 10 solid. A Teen University lecturer gets £2 and after that he gets £3. What was a gold pound? See, it's good to take notes. A gold pound was equivalent to 20 solid. And Benson only had a weekly salary of £1 and 10 solid. £1. £1 is me and £1 of gold, I suppose. So Benson had 13 solid. Ordinary worker at a factory did not even get a pound or, at best, a little more, and rent for a bungalow was about 19 solid to £1 and 80 solid. A bungalow was about 19 solid to £1. Okay. The difference between earning 3 to 4,000 yuan and earning 14 to 50,000 yuan a month. Thumbing Green mumbled to himself, okay, this not mean anything for me. Because, well, in yuan, I don't know. Wait, we can do this. So it's from 515 euros to... Bro, it's a big thing. Yeah, it's a big thing. However, all of this was under the premise that he passed either the Teen University or Bachelor University interviews. There were not many other opportunities. People without any connection were unable to get recommendation to become a public servant, and those who study history were more limited in job opportunities, like in real life. There was not much demand for private consultants. I'm sorry, if someone study history. There was not much demand for private consultants from the aristocrats, banks, or industrial magnates. Taking into account that the knowledge claim gaps were fragmented and incomplete, Thumbing Green felt aware and guilty toward Miss Smiling expectation of him. No, I have always been this young, answered Wendy. Oh, no, I always been this young, answered Wendy humorously. Wait a moment. I'm fast. Humorously. See, I was pronouncing it wrong. Like everything that I read, but well, humorously. Answered Wendy humorously. As she spoke, she packed the 16 rye bread she had weighed into the brown paper bag that Thumbing Green had brought. She stretched out her right hand and said, 9 pence. Every rye bread weighed about half a pound, as differences were inevitable. 9 pence? Wasn't it 11 pence 2 days ago? Thumbing Green asked subconsciously. It cost 15 pence the month before the previous month. You had to thank the people who protested on the street for the repeal of the Grain Act, she said Wendy as she shrugged. Thumbing Green nodded in vague acknowledgement. Clay's memory regarding this was incomplete. All he remembered was that the core tenet of the Grain Act was to protect the price of domestic agricultural products. When the price rose to a certain level, grain import from southern nations like Feinapother, Meissen, Lemberg were stopped. Once the price rose to a certain level, grain import from southern nations. Okay, let me write about this because they talk about on another nations, so it's important. Okay, why would people protest the act? Without saying much, Thumbing Green, afraid he would end up pulling out the revolver, carefully took out his notes and handed one of them over to Mr. Smiley. He was given 3 copper pence in change, stuffing them into his trouser pocket. He took the paper bag containing the bread and ham for the lettuce and meat, marked across the street. He was working hard for the mutton, hard for the mutton, stewed with peas his sister had sorted. There was a municipal square at the intersection of Iron Cross Street and Daffodil Street. Many tents were erected there, and clowns dressed in odd and funny attires were distributing flyers. There is a circus performance tomorrow, right? Summerlee glanced at the flyers in the hands of others as he read their content under his breath. Melissa would definitely like it. However, how much is the entrance fee? With that thought, Summerlee went closer. Just as he was about to ask a clown with a red and yellow painted face, a hoarse woman's voice sounded from beside him. Would you like to try a divination? Summerlee subconsciously turned his head and saw a woman wearing a pointed hat and a long black dress standing in front of a short tent. Her face was smeared with red and yellow paint, and her eyes were a profound grayish blue. Her face was smeared with red and yellow paint, and this woman was wearing a pointed hat and a long black dress. Okay, no, Summerlee shook his head in response. He did not have the spare cash for divination. The woman laughed and she said, "My tarot divination is very accurate." Tarot. Sorry, a moment. Give me a moment. Tarot? Summerlee was instantly dumbfounded. This pronunciation was almost identical to the tarot card on her. Oh, it's true. That's true. A tarot card from Earth was a set of cards used for divination. They just had graphics that represent different omens. Wait, he suddenly recalled the origin of tarot divination in this world. It did not originate from the 7 Orthodox gods, nor was it an ancient legacy. Instead, it was created by the Intis Republic consul at the era, Roselle Gusta, more than 170 years ago. I'm going to write about this. This Mr. Roselle invented the steam engine, improved the sailing boat, overthrew the Intis Kingdom imperial rule. He was recognized by the god of craftsmanship. How you can get recognized by a god? The gods here in this world, they are not really gods, or they are only important people that they are called gods. Let me write about this. The gods are really gods, or they are important people. Okay. So Miss Roselle invented a lot of things. I'm going to write about this woman. Later he invaded other nations and placed Lemberg, another nation, under his protection. He made... Oh, it's a he. I thought it was a she. He made the Loen Kingdom, Feinapotar, Faisak Empire, and other powerful northern continent nation bow down to the Intis Republic. Following that, the Republic was changed to an empire and he became the self-proclaimed Emperor Caesar. The Republic was changed to an empire and became the self-proclaimed Emperor Caesar. Okay, I'm going to keep writing about this guy. I think it's going to be important. It was during Roselle's rule that the Chart of Craftsmanship received its first public holy revelations in the Fifth Epoch. Everything the god of craftsmanship was changed to the god of steam and machinery. What? It was during Roselle's rule that the Church of Craftsmanship received its first public holy revelation since the Fifth Epoch. Everything the god of craftsmanship was changed to the god of steam and machinery. So, the god of craftsmanship now we know about him as God of Steam and Machinery. And I suppose that when they say that God was thus and was recognized by the God of craftsmanship, I suppose about they talking about received a first public holy revelation. I don't know. So I'm keep writing about this guy. It's crazy. So let me check really quick the name of the gods. Lodestone, God of knowledge and wisdom, Evernight Goddess, God of war, God and steam and machinery. There you go. There you are. No, there you go. And there is no Lord of craftsmanship. Okay. It's like the god evolve. Like the god level up. No, I don't know. Something strange. Roselle also invented tarot. Sorry, I forgot. Invented tarot divination. He also established the contemporary system of paper-based card and the play styles. There were many family styles that Summingri was familiar with, such as Ugrade, Fighting the Landlord, Texas Poker, and Quint. In addition, the marine fleets he sent out discovered a sea route that led to the southern continent through the stormy and turbulent seas. This also began the era of colonialism. Unfortunately, he was betrayed in his old age, in the year 1198 of the Fifth Epoch. He was assassinated by the combined force of the Charge of the Eternal Blazing Sun, the former Intis royal family. Oh, the Sauron family. Another aristocrats, he eventually died in the White Maple Place. This, to regard such general knowledge, suddenly made him facepalm. Could this be a transmigration senior? Ooh, maybe yes. Could this be a transmigration senior? With this in mind, Summingri was intrigued to see what tarot card looked like. Therefore, he knocked at the pointy-hat woman with the painted face and said, "If the price is reasonable, I will give it a try." The woman immediately said with a laugh, "Sir, you are the first one here today, so it's on the house. Oh, it's a free divination. There you go. A lot of things. This guy do a lot of things. So yeah, this how was the name? Mr. Rosale. It's possible that it's a transmigrator too, like Summingri. That's pretty cool, actually. In chapter 4, and we know of another transmigrator that did something in this world, and with the knowledge of his previous world, the Earth, he changed literally this new world. That's crazy work. But he died in the White Maple Palace. Okay, whatever. That's it for today. It's interesting because the next chapter is the tarot card divination. So that's cool. Okay, well, if you don't know me, but I think this is going to be my first video. So I'm learning English right now, and I want to get better with my pronunciation and with my speaking. So that's why I'm doing this kind of videos. I want to read a lot of the mysteries, so I say, well, I will read it aloud. I'm going to record myself to know how I pronounce some things. So yeah, that's it for today. See you in the next chapter. Bye.